Today, let's dive into a really simple but powerful story. It's about a young man, a wise elder, and, well, a single glass of water. And believe me, it holds a pretty profound secret for finding calm in our crazy, busy world.
But before we get into it, let me ask you something. Does your mind ever feel like a storm? Just a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists that just will not be quiet? If you're nodding along, then you're definitely going to want to stick around for this.
So let's meet our main character, a young man named Marco. This was his world. His mind was constantly, and I mean constantly, split. On one side, he was just dwelling on the past, feeling sad about things that were already over. And on the other, he was totally anxious about what was coming. He was just stuck in this mental tug-of-war, day in and day out.
And yeah, this constant internal battle, it had a very real cost. His mind was truly like a storm, and it was just wreaking havoc on his life.
And these weren't just vague feelings of stress. No, the effects were super specific. He felt physically uneasy and just tired all the time. He couldn't find a moment of calm, couldn't even get a good night's sleep. And maybe the saddest part of all, he'd actually forgotten how to smile. So feeling pretty hopeless, Marco decides he has to do something. He hears stories about a wise man living up in the hills and decides to go find him. He's hoping, just hoping, this man holds the secret to finally silencing the storm in his head.
And get this, the wise man wasn't just some mystical hermit. He was a former psychologist, so he had real-world experience helping people back in the city. But he'd chosen a different path, a much quieter life, really close to nature. This gave him this amazing blend of practical knowledge and really deep wisdom.
When Marco finally finds him, his plea is just so simple and desperate. He lays his problem bare. My mind is very restless. I cannot stop thinking. You can just feel it, right? He's at his breaking point, and this is his last hope.
So, what does the wise man do? You might think he'd offer some complex philosophy or a long lecture, right? Nope. He gives Marco a really simple, kind of peculiar task. He calls it the water glass test.
Okay, so here are the instructions. The wise man fills a glass to the absolute brim, so full that even the tiniest little shake would make it spill. Marco's task? Walk through the busy village and back without losing a single drop. Sounds simple, but it's actually incredibly difficult.
So to succeed, Marco had to become completely methodical. His entire world just shrank down to that glass of water. He held it so carefully, his eyes were locked on the surface, moving just one slow step at a time, and consciously tuning out every single thing around him.
And let me tell you, the world around him was not quiet. The road was bustling, people were shouting, shopkeepers were calling out, dogs were barking. It was just total chaos. But for Marco, none of it existed. His focus was so absolute, he walked right through that external storm without even noticing it because he was so intent on his task.
So Marco returns, and he did it. He hasn't spilled a single drop. But here's the thing. The real test was never about the water. It was about his mind. And this is where the secret to peace is finally unlocked.
The wise man doesn't congratulate him on his steady hand. Instead, he just asks these really simple questions about the journey. He wants to know what Marco saw, what he heard on his walk.
And here it is. This is the light bulb moment. Marco, kind of surprised himself, admits he noticed nothing. Not the kids, not the dogs, not the shopkeepers. Why? Because 100% of his attention was on that glass of water.
And that's the secret. By giving his mind a single, demanding point of focus in the here and now, Marco had accidentally emptied it of everything else. There was literally no mental space left for sadness about the past or worry about the future. When your brain is fully occupied by one thing, there's just no room for all those extra thoughts.
The wise man then delivers the core lesson, and it comes in two powerful parts. First, this idea. We spend so much time searching for peace, right? Like it's a destination or something you can buy. But that's not where it is.
And that's the follow-up. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you uncover. It's like the default state that's already there, just buried underneath the storm of our thoughts. Marco didn't find peace on his walk. He just cleared away the noise that was hiding it.
So it all boils down to this incredibly simple concept, the power of one. One task, one point of focus, one moment. That's the key. That's all it takes to unlock the peace that's already inside you. Okay, so why does this ancient story matter to you? Right here, right now. Well, because we can all use this lesson. We can all find our own glass of water to carry through the chaos of our modern lives. The crucial thing to get is that the glass of water isn't literal. Of course not. It's a symbol. It represents any simple task or sensation that you can give your full attention to, something that pulls your mind out of the past and the future and anchors it firmly in the now.
So what could that be for you? It doesn't have to be complicated at all. It could be focusing completely on the rhythm of your own breath, or the feeling of a warm cup of tea in your hands. Maybe it's putting on headphones and just listening, really listening to one single song. Or hey, even just noticing the feeling of your feet on the ground.
So the question is now for you to think about. When the storm in your mind starts kicking up, what's the simple, present moment anchor you can turn to? What's your personal glass of water?
Look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. True calm doesn't come from solving all your future problems or fixing all your past regrets. It comes from bringing your full attention to this moment, right here, right now.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought. You don't have to go on a long journey into the hills. Your chance is right now. Where will you choose to place your focus today to find that little bit of quiet space inside?